Hello, everybody. Welcome to this week's edition of Valpo FB Weekly, along with head coach Dave Cicchini. This is Todd Eichow, and Dave will start by obviously looking back at what was a great win on Saturday against Butler. I said it was redemption day for the defense. You held a good offense to 300 yards. You held them to 17 points, only 3 in the second half after a couple really rough weeks. What changed?
Yeah, well, I think we did a great job, first of all, of guys that really were involved in some of their first serious action. You know, Matt Messler got his first start at linebacker. You've got Michael Scarcella got his first start at safety. So those young players, well, Matt's not a young player, but those lesser experienced players stepped up and made plays when they had to. We talked about that all year long, about being in the right place and just about making the play when that opportunity comes your way. We did that as a whole on defense, so I think that's the first thing. I think the second thing is you got to give credit to our front seven, who did a great job of stopping the run. You know, James Reed had a huge afternoon, and just the physicality that we had. We handled the line of scrimmage on both sides of the ball better than we had the prior weeks.
And it was a week where you had so many different guys step up. You mentioned James Reed. I thought he played his best game in a Crusader uniform, no doubt about it. Obviously, Matt Messler was great, but from player to player to player, other guys stepping up. You had guys go down again. I mean, week after week, guys on defense going down. That next man up mentality certainly was in play on Saturday.
Yeah, and it helped us, you know, win the game. You look about the defense started off the game with 3 straight 3-and-outs, and then finished the game with a key 4th down and 1 stop, and then 2 turnovers to finish the ball game. That's an outstanding way to handle the first quarter and the fourth quarter.
Well, it was redemption for the defense. The same thing for special teams. If you talk about one, you know, as low as you could be a week ago.
Right.
And then the special teams was great on Saturday as well.
Yeah, Bailey, you know, again, a week ago against Dayton, Bailey drops a punt. We talked about that. Just, you know, he's such an outstanding special teams player, and that's just not like him. And then this past Saturday against Butler, we saw, you know, what he's all about in that 97-yard kickoff return. It was outstanding blocking by our kickoff return team. But Bailey just hits that hole, and you see what makes him such an outstanding player. He just accelerates away from the Butler's coverage team and gets us a great way to start the second half with 6 points.
And then, you know, Latsonis, who struggled a week ago, not only has he hit all his extra points, but his kickoffs were near perfect. Right. You know, in the old days, you would have maybe put him in some real difficult field position because you can't call a fair catch at the goal line like happened. But his kickoffs were high, right near the goal line, angled towards the side. Those were as perfect as kickoffs as you can have.
Yeah, exactly. Perfectly placed. He did an outstanding job all afternoon. And anytime you can get teams to basically say uncle by calling for the fair catch and saying, we'll take the ball in the 25, that's a great sign of respect, and that's exactly what we needed.
You are running the ball better, too, now over the past couple weeks, and that keeps the defense off the field a little bit more, and I'm sure that's what you want to do going forward.
Sure, certainly, and I think where that really made a difference was on critical down and distances. I think if you looked overall, I think our longest rush on the day was only 10 yards, but it was a unbelievably efficient day running the football. In other words, we had so many 3rd down and 3s where we got 4-yard runs, or 3rd down and 1s where we got 2-yard runs. We went 15 of 19 in critical 3rd and 4th down situations, which was an unbelievable success rate. And you just can't accomplish that success rate if you're chucking it down the field 80% of the time. This was much more, if you look at all those 3rd downs and 4th downs, we were running the football the majority of the times, and almost without fail, we came through in those key situations.
A lot of 3rd and shorts, and that's where you want to be.
Right, exactly.
You know, going forward, the PFL this year, maybe more than any other year, the parity is incredible. You look at the scores each week, you have no idea who's going to win. I think we said a couple weeks ago that Marist beating Dayton was one of the biggest upsets we'd seen in years, and then you had almost the same thing with Stetson going to Drake and winning. Anything can happen. Moorhead's a team where, you know, you look at their scores, you're not sure what you're going to get. Right. It just figures to be a close game every single week, and no difference on Saturday coming up.
Yeah, no, Moorhead is a team that's got a very talented offense. They're doing a great job this year running the football. You know, they've been more of a traditional passing attack, and they still certainly can hurt you there. So they provide a matchup nightmare for their offense. Their defense has kind of been hot and cold week to week. I think still figuring things out, but certainly with some outstanding athletes on that side of the ball as well. And they've made a couple of big plays special teams wise too. So you're exactly right. There's no easy wins, I think, for anybody in our conference right now for the remainder of the year, and everybody's got a chance to win on Saturdays, and that's one of the things that makes the PFL so great.
All right, and good luck this week, Dave.
All right, thanks.
For head coach Dave Cicchini, this is Todd Ica. Thanks for joining us on Valpo Football Weekly.